For this class, you will need light weights. 3 to 5 is generally what I recommend. If you don't have weights, you can also use cans. Cans are generally like a pound or two, and they'll be perfect for this class. I kind of plan for higher reps and more of like hanging out up here with light weights versus doing bigger compound movements. So with that said, we'll get started with a warm up here. So welcome to Barreless. We'll take a nice wide stance and we'll just start with a nice and easy squat and reach. Squatting down as low as comfortable and reaching tall overhead. Working to open up the hips. Begin to bring some warmth to the legs. And with that reach, we're opening up the chest and shoulders for a nice stretch. We'll spend about 10 more seconds here, maybe try and get a little bit lower if we can. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can finish it out. Good. We'll keep our wide stance going right into windmill toe touches, arms wide. We'll hinge down to reach towards the shin or toes, right back up. Squeezing glutes as we come to stand. Trying to keep the back nice and flat as we reach down. You're getting a nice stretch in the hamstrings here. Bringing some warmth specifically to the glutes. About 10 more seconds. And here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, we're going to take a big stretch overhead. We'll go off to the left side first. Should feel a nice stretch all along the right side of the body, down the shoulder, into the back. Take a few deep breaths. Then we'll go ahead and switch sides. Big stretch and reach to the right. You should feel that stretch again from the shoulder all the way down. Just loosening up those muscles. You're breathing deep. All right, we'll slowly bring it back to the center. And from here, we're just going to roll all the way down to a wide leg forward fold. You can let the head and neck be heavy. Options here, you can kind of shift the leg side to side, get a really nice stretch in the hamstrings and low back. You can also kind of shift your weight forward onto the toes carefully, back onto the heels, or maybe just sway. There's plenty of options, just kind of feel it out and find what movements feel good for your body this afternoon. Spend about 10 more seconds here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll slowly roll all the way up, one vertebra at a time. We'll take a couple big shoulder rolls at the top. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears, down the back. Nice and big to release any tension. One more here. Good. All right, we'll shake it out. And we're going to start off with a nice wide stance. So you can stay right where you're at, but just make sure to grab a set of weights. So with our sumo squats, we're going to throw in some lateral holds, some high curls, and also just some 90-degree holds. So I'll show you those motions so you can pick your weights accordingly. So it's going to be, this is lateral. High curls are going to be flipping the palms and curling towards the shoulders. And then we're going to hang out right here. So those are our 3 motions we're going to throw in. We'll begin with a lateral hold first, and we're going to be pulsing in that sumo squat, so wide stance, toes pointed slightly outward. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. So lower down the squat, bringing weights to shoulder height. Palms are facing down. Oh, and we're pulsing. Forgot about that. So we're pressing up through the heels with this pulse. Kind of squeezing the shoulder blades together, rolling the shoulders back. Let's hang out here for a little bit, building some heat in the legs. Starting to warm up those shoulders. Spend about 10 more seconds here. We're gonna go to a hold at the bottom and high curls in 4, 3, 2, 1. So holding, we'll flip the palms up and begin to curl to the shoulders, then back out. It's nice and slow. Always an option too if you want to alternate arms. That's a great choice. If you ever need a break with the legs, feel free to stand it up, kind of stretch it out. and get back down when you're ready. Really focusing on feeling it out today. We have about 10 seconds left here. We're gonna stay nice and low in the legs. We'll go to that 90-degree hold in 4, 3, 2, 1. So arms are 90 degrees, palms will face forward. And with our legs, we're gonna go for alternating heel lifts. So staying low, we're gonna lift one heel up, back down, other heel. And if that's uncomfortable, please just hold nice and low. We'll try to keep elbows at shoulder height. Squeeze the shoulder blades together nice and tight. Nice work, keep breathing through here. Maybe sink a ½ inch lower. Good. Home stretch. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job, you can stand it up. Bring the weights down carefully and we'll kind of roll it out, shake it out. Get the body nice and warm right away. All right, we'll give legs a little break next. We're gonna go to reverse fly, so another lightweight movement. With reverse fly, we'll give option of feet together, hinging forward, and we're gonna bring weights out to the side, keeping a slight bend in the elbows and squeezing shoulder blades tight. As you can see, really just keeping it slow on the way down. Another option, if you want an extra challenge, you can go for a single leg balance. So either just kickstanding it with one leg back, or you can even lift that leg off the ground. So just an option. If it's not feeling good today, just leave it out. So we'll get ready here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And you can keep feet together, go for a balance. I'll let you know when we're halfway so you can switch sides. We're keeping shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades tight as we fly or pull those weights up. If you're going for that balance, we'll switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides if you're doing the single leg version. Keeping it nice and slow all the way down. Really focus on that control with those weights. Home stretch. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, you can finish it out. We'll stand it up, shake it out. All right. One more upper body focused exercise before we go back to our super fun squat round. My face is already very sweaty. So we're gonna do some triceps kickback pulses. So nice light weights here or no weights, always an option. So we're gonna be hinged forward. We'll start with just pulsing. Palms will face each other and we're just gonna be flipping palms up, palms together. So it's alternating between those two. So just listen up. If you need breaks, feel free to stand up, shake the arms out, or you can always drop the weights too. Promise the triceps will be feeling it regardless. So with that said, we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1. So hinging forward, we'll start palms together. So trying to keep the back nice and flat, squeezing the shoulder blades together, squeezing glutes to help stabilize the body. We'll get ready to flip the palms up or facing back in 3, 2, 1. We'll flip the palms. Trying to keep those arms up as high as we can. Squeezing the shoulder blades a little bit tighter together. Really keeping that back flat. If we start to feel around, pull it back. We'll get ready to flip the palms together in 3, 2, 1. Palms together, keep those arms up, keep it moving, just tiny pulses, couple inches. Breathing through, we're almost there. We have one more flip, palms back in 3, 2, 1. Palms back. Final 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. That was a fun one. 10-second countdown. All right, it's the end of round 1. If you want to grab a sip of water, maybe just kind of shake the body out, feel free. Give you guys a little breather. Hope we're doing well so far. Whew. All right, about 15 seconds. We'll get back to our very fun sumo squat round with all the upper body add-ins. So reminder, we're gonna start with our hold first, then to the curls, and then to 90 degrees. If you ever wanna swap out weights, drop weights, feel free to do so. And also feel free to straighten out legs when you need. This is a little bit longer one. So we'll take a nice wide stance, toes pointed slightly outward. We're starting with a pulse of the legs, holding lateral with the arms in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We'll sink it nice and low, holding. We'll add that pulse, pressing up through the heels, squeezing glutes, and still squeezing those shoulder blades together. Common theme for this round. Staying as low as you can. Nice job. We'll get ready for our high curls next, holding the legs in 4, 3, 2, 1. So hold the legs, flip palms up, and we'll start to do those high curls. Curling weights in towards the shoulders and out, keeping it controlled, and still keeping those arms about shoulder height. Always remembering to breathe through. We'll squeeze the glutes a little bit tighter. Not forgetting about those. We go, keep breathing through, and if ever you need a break, always an option to straighten out, keep going with the arms. We have about 10 more seconds here. And we're gonna stay low. Arms will come to a 90-degree hold in 4, 3, 2, 1. So arms to 90 degrees, palms are forward, and we're alternating those heel lifts, or option to continue holding if this is uncomfortable. And we'll keep elbows at shoulder height, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Woo, loving that burn. We'll keep it going. Keep breathing through. We have 10 more seconds. Home stretch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You can stand it up. Woo, shake it out. All right, feeling it. We're going to reverse flies next. So a reminder, we have option of feet together, or you can either go for the kickstand balance or full balance with that. So plenty of options to play around with. And pick up your weights. We'll start to get ready here in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And just a slight bend in the elbows as we pull those weights up. Palms should be facing each other the whole time. You have no rush here, nice and slow. You're going for the single leg. We'll switch in 3, 2, 1. Switch sides halfway through. Try to squeeze a little bit tighter at the top, even slower on the way down. There we go. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Good. Woo. And shake the arms out. We're back to our kickback pulses. Again, always an option to drop down in weights or drop weights completely with this one. Do what you need, getting that tricep burn going. So we'll get ready and hinging forward, palms will face to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Just a little bit of movement, squeezing shoulder blades tight. Back should be pretty flat here. Just breathing through. Here we go. And shoulder blades squeeze together. Really working those postural muscles today. We'll get ready to flip the palms back in 3, 2, 1. Palms back. Just a little movement, weights up as high as we can. You're loving it. About 10 more seconds here. We'll get ready to flip the palms back together in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Last round through. Go, keep it up, keep pushing it. We have one flip left, palms back in 4, 3, 2, 1, palms back, 10 seconds. Won't count down the whole time. Go, here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! That'll get the triceps burning. Shake the arms out. Little break here if you want to grab a sip of water. Feel free to do so. We're gonna make our way down to the mat next, or down to the floor if you don't have a mat. So you can slowly make your way there. And we do have option. We're gonna start with the glute bridge, so you can add on weights by holding them over the hips, or feel free to follow along without weight. So with that said, we'll make our way onto our backs. And we have a little series today with the glute bridge. So we're gonna start with a hold at the top first. Feet are gonna be hip width apart. I'm just pressing up. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So just holding to start. I'll throw in some variations, so just listen up. And if you don't have weights, you can just place the hands on the ground. Just nice and easy. Give them a break. And try to lift up a ½ inch higher. Good. About 10 more seconds. Just warming those glutes up if they're not already. First variation is going to be kind of a hip shift or a slight swing. So kind of flexing one side then the other in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So kind of flex left side, flex the right side. So it should just be a little shift, kind of like we're swinging the hips, but we're staying lifted. Nice and slow. No rush with this one. There you go. Keep breathing through. Keep those hips up high. About 10 more seconds. We'll go back to a hold. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to our hold at the top, pressing those hips up a little bit higher than last time if we can. They power through the heels, squeeze the glutes. Should feel the hamstrings working too. All right. Our next variation, a classic. We're just gonna pulse at the top, just moving a couple inches. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So finishing out with that pulse. And just a couple inches, pressing up towards the ceiling as high as you can. You should be pressing mainly through the heels here. Good, 10 seconds left. And last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can lower down. If you'd like a little stretch, you'll bring knees to chest and just draw some circles for a little relief for the glutes. All right. I had to check what I had next. I couldn't remember. We're gonna stay on the mat. We can just kind of roll up and flip onto one side. No weights needed this round. We're doing some leg lifts. So we're gonna start with, I guess you can pick what side you wanna start with. Doesn't matter as long as you do them both. So you can either be propped up on an elbow, or if it's more comfortable, you can just do a full casual lay down on your mat. But make sure your hips are facing forward. We don't wanna be opened, wanna be stacked facing forward. So we're gonna start with pulses first with a flexed foot, pulsing up and down, and then we're gonna throw in some other ones. But for now, we'll start here. We have about a minute total with all of our variations. It's really working hips and glutes. And if you feel yourself starting to open up, pull it forward. There we go. About 10 more seconds here. We'll go to leg lifts next, going all the way down, all the way up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So we'll lower down and lift all the way up as high as you can. Nice and slow on the way down. Keep it controlled. Good. Next variation, we're gonna draw tiny circles at the top. This time we'll point the toes. In 3, 2, 1. So we'll point the toes down and draw tiny circles, keeping that leg up as high as we can. Should feel those hips and glutes waking up a little bit by now. 10 seconds. This will be it for this side. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and good. We'll take a little stretch back. Child's pose will be a great one with knees out nice and wide. And we'll kind of shift the hips side to side just to stretch out hips, glutes, before we hit on that second side to even things out. All right, good. You can make your way onto your other side and try to lay the same way you did on that first side. So if you're propped up, try to stay propped up. If you're all the way down, you can stick with that casual lay. So we'll begin with our pulse at the top first in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And toes are flexed, so they should be pointed up at the shins. And we're keeping hips facing forward. If you feel yourself roll back, pull them forward. They should be stacked. About 10 more seconds here, then we'll go to a lift next. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Going to our lift, getting all the way up, all the way down. Going as high as comfortable and try to keep it slow on the way down. There's no rush. There we go. Keep breathing through. Last variation. We're going for our leg circles, and we'll point the toes with this last one. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Point the toes, draw a tiny circle. Not a ton of movement here. Trying to keep that leg up as high as we can. We're breathing through that burn. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. We'll flip onto our backs. We have one exercise before we head back to the top. We're gonna give hips and glutes a little break here. So we have option if you like to use weights. We're gonna do a dead bug. So for those who don't know dead bug, arms and legs start in the air, we're dropping down. Opposite arm, opposite leg, as close to ground as you can, and pulling back to the center. So if you wanna add weights, we're just gonna hold them in the hands, palms will face each other. We'll just go through that same motion, but just adding a little extra resistance. So we'll get started. We have 30 seconds in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And drop opposites. If you can't get all the way down, that's totally fine. This is a slow, controlled movement, a really good mental workout, trying to coordinate opposite arm, opposite leg, and keep the other side as stable as possible. Yeah, we have about 10 seconds left. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right. We are right back in position for glute bridge. If you'd like to add some weights, feel free to grab those. We're going to go through that same sequence with our hold first. And again, we have that swing, hold, pulse. So feet about hip width. We'll get ready to lift up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Just lifting, holding at the top, an option to add your weights to the hips. Otherwise, hands are just down on your mat. We're pressing up through the heels, really focusing on squeezing the glutes, holding at the top. About 10 more seconds here. And first fun variation is our hip swing or hip shift, just really slight. In 4, 3, 2, 1. So again, kind of squeezing the left side, squeezing the right. Just a little bit of movement. We're keeping hips up pretty high here. And no rush. A slow shift, slow swing. You have 10 more seconds. We'll get ready for another hold at the top in 4, 3, 2, 1. So back to our hold, really pressing through those heels. Staying lifted as high as we can. We're breathing through. Great mental workout, just keep it going. We'll finish off with a pulse at the top, about 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, pulsing at the top, just a little bit of movement and power through those heels. Really working those hamstrings, glutes, a little bit at the low back, all that good stuff. Breathing through, 10 more seconds. This will be it for a glute bridge. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You can lower down. We'll set the weights aside. And you can make your way. If you want to stretch, feel free to stretch, but we'll flip onto one of our sides. We're back to our leg lift series. And legs will be stacked. You can be up on the elbow. You can be down nice and casual, laying on the mat. Just making sure hips are facing forward. We'll start with our pulse at the top with toes flexed up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Just a little bit of movement. This round might feel a little bit harder, and that is a-okay. Extra challenge here. About 10 more seconds with our pulse. Then we'll move to our leg lifts, full lifts next. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Full lift, so all the way down and high as comfortable. Nice and slow, keeping it controlled on the way down. You go, keep breathing through. About 10 seconds left, and we'll go to our final variation of the tiny circles with toes pointed in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So point the toes. We'll draw tiny circles. Not a ton of movement here. Really focusing on keeping that leg up high as we can. Fighting that shake. Home stretch. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We'll take a little stretch in between. Child's pose between our two sides, kind of shifting side to side. Might feel kind of nice for glutes and hips. Couple deep breaths to reset. Good. All right. Go ahead and flip onto that other side. And taking the same positioning with upper body, either propped up, laying down. Legs are stacked. And we'll start with our pulse first. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Foot flexed. Pulsing the leg as high as we can. Hips are stacked facing forward. We're breathing through. About 10 more seconds. And then next up, we have our full leg lifts, going all the way down, all the way up. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All the way down, as high as you can go, while keeping the hips facing forward. Nice work. We have about 10 more seconds. We'll finish up with our pointed leg circles. In 3, 2, 1. We'll point the toes, draw tiny circles, keep those legs up. Now we're feeling it at this point. If you're not, I don't know what to say to you. 10 seconds. Fight through. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll lower down. I'm cringing. We'll flip onto the backs. If you want to take a little stretch, you can go for those leg circles. Maybe just rock side to side. Maybe just let the legs sit for a second, but we'll start to get ready for dead bugs. So option of using weights. With the weights, we're just adding them on, holding as we move the arms. Again, opposites. So we have 30 seconds here, beginning in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Dropping down opposite arm, opposite leg, as far as comfortable. Pull back to the center. The back should be flat on the mat. If you want to take a bend in the leg too, as you lower down, that's totally fine. Awesome work, everybody. We have 10 seconds left. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You can relax. We'll take a little breather, a little stretch. Feel free to grab some water if you'd like. I'm realizing we are at the end of our time. If you need to run, feel free to head out. I do have one little fun finisher, a little more core to finish up our day. We'll give the legs a break there. They are done for today. So if you're able to stick around, we'll stay on our mats. And again, option if you want to use weights, you can hold light weights. We're going to start with the legs lifted. We're going to do some alternating toe touchers. So reaching up towards the outside of the opposite foot, kind of rocking and rolling the shoulder blades off the mat. So if you want to hold weights, just holding them, adding that little extra resistance. Then from here, we're going to go straight into a long lever crunch. So weights or no weights, we're going to sit up and try to tap the ground and control all the way back down. So we'll just go through one time. It'll be about a minute total, so 30 seconds per exercise. That'll be it for today. So we'll begin in 4, 3, 2, 1. Alternating toe touchers are first. And rocking and rolling off your mat, reaching up towards the outside of the foot. Trying to get up as high as comfortable for you. Focus on getting that little twist, getting those obliques fired up. 10 more seconds here, then we'll go right into those long lever crunches. Option to keep the weights or drop them. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So we'll start with arms overhead. Try to sit up, tap the ground, and control all the way back down. If you want even more of a challenge, you can kind of shift the legs forward so they're not over the hips. We'll fire up the core even more. Final 10 seconds of class. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll go to a full body stretch, reaching the arms overhead, stretching the legs out, taking a couple deep breaths. Start to bring the heart rate down, let the body relax. Good. All right, from here, we're gonna take a bend in the knees. We'll cross left foot over the right knee. You can either keep the legs on the mat and just apply light pressure to that left knee to feel a stretch in the IT band, or you can lift the leg up, grab behind the right hamstring and pull it in. So I can feel it out, feel what's best for you. Always option 2 if you wanna maybe rock side to side, roll out the ankle, you can add whatever movement feels good. Take one more deep breath. Good, and we'll release the leg. We'll uncross that left foot and we'll switch sides. We'll bring right foot over left knee and either keep it down, just apply light pressure on the right knee, or you can pull in and hold that left hamstring. You can rock side to side, you can roll out the ankle. Find what feels good. We'll take 2 more deep breaths. And after that second deep breath, you can release the legs down. We'll grab behind the knees and take a roll up, or as many as you'd like. Eventually making our way to a butterfly pose with feet together in the center, pressing down lightly with the elbows. Really good stretch for hip flexors, inner thigh. We'll take one more deep breath here. Good, then we'll shift ourselves back, straightening out the right foot. We'll bring left foot into touch. We'll take an inhale to reach overhead. As we exhale, we'll fold forward, reaching towards the shin, the toes, and always an option too if you want to take a bend in the knee to get forward a little more. Stretching out hamstrings, low back. Worked them both pretty hard today. Give them a little love now with this stretch. We'll take one more deep breath. Good, and we'll slowly start to roll up the right leg. We'll switch sides, straightening out the left foot, bring that right foot into touch. We'll take a big inhale to reach overhead. Then exhale to fold forward as far as comfortable. And always an option to bend that knee. If you've got tight hamstrings like I do, want to get down a little more. Nice deep breath, really breathing into those hamstrings. We'll take one more deep breath. Good, then we'll slowly roll up the leg. We'll make our way to standing slowly. We just have 2 quick stretches left. And if you need to jump off, feel free to do so. I always go over. I always plan too much, but anyway, quad stretch is next. Left foot is gonna come up. Option to hang on to something for balance if needed. Let's hang out here, trying to relax the shoulders down. If you'd like, you can kind of add a rocking motion, start to stretch out the hip flexor a little more, as well as the quads. We'll take 2 more deep breaths. Alrighty, when you're done with those, you can release, shake it out, roll it out, and we'll switch to the right side, finding your balance. Gentle pull on the right foot, relax the shoulders down. You can hold still, or you can start to go for that rocking motion if that feels good today. Good. 2 more deep breaths. All right, you can slowly release the foot down. We'll shake it out, and we'll finish up with nice big overhead stretch. We'll go off to the left side to start. Same as before, you can take a nice wide stance. Take 2 deep breaths. And we'll bring it to the center, going for a baby back bend. So we'll cactus the arms and kind of press the hips forward. And then we'll reach overhead. And then we'll bring it over to the right side for that big stretch. 2 deep breaths. All right, and we'll bring it back to that baby back bend one more time, cactusing the arms, pressing hips forward. We'll bring it back overhead. You can slowly release the arms down, take it out. Awesome work. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks so much for joining me for Barreless.